Hi friends, I want to show you two video clips from the case that's going on in Dallas right now. There's a dad, Jeffrey Younger, whose ex-wife was going to have their son take hormones that would have him transition, so to speak, to a girl, as well as possibly in the future have his body parts removed. And the dad was going to the court saying, please stop mom from doing this. And a jury had decided on Monday that they agreed to let mom have full control over the medical care and psychological care of their son, who the mom is saying needs to be transitioned and is actually a girl. This is related to my work with Mary's Advocates because people need to wake up and know what's going on in these family courts. Every time one person files for divorce, what they're essentially doing is saying, hey, my husband and I can't decide between the two of us how to raise our kids, so I want you, the government, to decide. I want you, the government, usually, to give me custody and control of our kids. And then the defendant is just stuck where the government now thinks they have power to take over their kids. In this situation, the jury had decided that mom, who wants to force a child to become a boy to become a girl, the jury had decided to give mom this power. Now, yesterday, the judge came out and made her own order, and she said that no, we're not going to give mom full decision-making power about the son. But watch the clip from LifeSite News where their reporter points out that the dad had earlier been under court order not to tell his son, hey son, you're a boy. And she points out that this is craziness, and it's also an extreme violation of religious liberties where parents have the natural right to teach their children the faith.
And we've got to be active in watching these cases. We've got to protect our religious freedom, because had Jeff, been required not to teach his son about his biological gender, as the previous order stated, the court issued a previous order that said you may not speak to your son about his biological sex or gender. That means Jeff can't teach his son his own religious teachings. He can't pass on his religion to his son. That's a huge violation of our religious freedom, and it's happening quietly in little cases like these.
Parents have the natural right to teach their children the faith. And from my perspective as a Catholic, every Catholic that is in divorce court who believes there is no just cause for separation of spouses in the first place, as are most defendants in no-fault divorce, the defendants in these divorce cases are facing a court and a government system where the court will tell often the defendant, don't you dare tell your kids that it's wrong for the plaintiff to abandon the family, that it's wrong for the plaintiff to divorce, that the church teaches that when mom and dads get married, they're promising to be married for life and they're obligated to work together in the same household, and that God's graces and sacramental graces give us the grace we need to figure out whatever our marriage problems are. I was telling someone just yesterday that two people might appear like they never should have been married because they have so much disagreements or whatever, but marriage is like two stones being bounced together and you become polished, and that's a good thing. So just look at the clip of what the dad says too about this case in Dallas. He did this little interview with a LifeSite news reporter, and the dad is saying most people just give up. They try to squish us, and we just give up because we don't have the money to pay it, and we just have to go along to get along. And this dad kept pushing the issue. He doesn't want mom to try to transition their son into a girl.
They did their best to suppress me. They did their best to push me down. And what most fathers do is they get along to go along. They get scared. They run out of money. Well, I'm not backing down. This is my son's life, and I'm not backing down.
That it illustrates the craziness of what goes on in divorce court. And from Mary's Advocates' perspective, this is a reason why we have to stop acting like it's okay for the government to decide the obligations of parties when there's a separation. When two people go into a marriage and they go in with a Judeo-Christian principle, the only reason one should be separating is if the other one is doing something really terrible that's repeatedly dangerous or committing adultery. And no-fault divorce is the opposite.